AmorAntasia, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for 17,000 subscribers. Now today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to start your own clothing line. Yes, a clothing line. I know some of you are thinking, girl, what do you know about fashion? But yes, your girl, me, I was a fashion designer. Well, actually I still am a fashion designer, but I've just taken a hiatus in fashion because I'm working on becoming a counselor. And I just feel like in this season of my life, I'm almost pushing 30. I need to be focused more so on family, or building my own family, and my career as far as counseling goes and writing my books. So I'm more focused on that versus, the business side of fashion design. Now I started my own fashion company or my own clothing line, which was called Be Air Mode back in 2012. And it was pretty successful. I had a swimwear line and I had a basic line that I actually designed myself, and I sewed them together. So I'm not just a designer. I can actually draw, but I can actually sew. But I know for some of you guys, some of you can't do either of the two, or neither of the two. So I don't want that to stress you guys out or make you think that you have to go to school to become a designer or to start your own clothing label or brand. So these are the basic steps into taking that you'll need to know in order to start your own clothing line. Okay, first things first, you definitely need to have a vision. With everything that you start, as far as a company, this hair is getting on my nerves, or a business, you have to have a vision or like a goal or a plan. Like, not necessarily the plan part, you need to have that too, but first and foremost, you have to have a vision. You have to have a vision because it needs to be something that's going to propel you to keep striving, even if the company is not being successful. You need to have something that's going to keep you rooted. So that's what that vision is for. What do you plan on doing? What do you want to actually see? Why are you doing this? Why do you want to be a designer? What kind of clothing do you want to provide, and why? My vision was because I got tired of seeing girls in too little clothing, especially at church, because obviously that's where I'm always at most of the time. And I got tired of being in stores shopping for clothing for church or work, and it being too provocative. It was too small or too short, or it was my size, but it's just too revealing. So I wanted to create a brand that Christian women could wear to church and to work and to wherever else they're going, to a lounge or a jazz club or wherever they're going. So that was my vision. I wanted to see that happen, and I still will. But for for example, you could be, a t-shirt designer. You just want to implement powerful messages through t-shirts. I mean, that's a good brand. A lot of people are doing it. So start with a vision. You need to have that. Secondly, you need to either be able to design or you need to be able to sew. Now, if you can't do both, then don't worry, because you'll have to have a partner or someone else to help you with the designs. Either you're going to learn how to design yourself, or you're going to have someone else design and you sew, or you're going to have to pay someone else to design and sew for you, which can definitely cost more money if you don't have a manufacturer. But even manufacturers, which I will get to later, they cost a lot of money. They do, especially if you're going to try to be big. But I wouldn't suggest that you start huge. You start small, and build your clientele. Now, what I did was I've always been good at drawing, so I would design all of my items, and I would literally cut them out, cut the fabric out, and make my own patterns. They have patterns at Joann's, and I don't know about Michael's, but I know they have them at Walmart, Joann's, and Hancock, where it teaches you how to cut out patterns, and you can make clothing like that. And honestly, I took home economics my freshman year of high school back in the early 2000s, and I remembered how to at least load a sewing machine. And there's so many YouTube videos that teaches you how to load a sewing machine, and it teaches you how to even sketch or draw. So don't completely say that you can't do it because you don't know how to sew. You can definitely learn, and they do have classes at Hancock and Joann to help you with like buttons or putting on zippers. I personally taught myself all of that. I had to learn myself because I didn't have anyone to teach me. But had I known, I would have taken the classes. Now, after you have your vision and you have your designs and you have whoever's gonna make your clothing. Third, I would say you have to set up your name. because there's no point of having a name and you can't even sew yet. That's why I didn't say, start your name first. With your vision, that kind of comes with it, thinking about what name you're going to have. But now that you're actually in production, like you're getting ready to start your business, you need to come up with a name that's not taken from somebody else's, that you can get copyrighted. And you need to definitely get your name copyrighted, because someone else can take your name. They can't take your designs. Well, actually they can, because unless you have a pattern that you actually made, like you designed a pattern and it's fabric and you have it copywritten or whatever trademarks, you can't sue anybody for stealing your designs. And that was really discouraging for YouTube. I mean, for fashion design, because there's so many Korean and Asian vendors from like across the seas where you see on eBay they've stolen designs from boutique owners in America. So it's kind of like something that you can't, really shake. But, if you're a great designer, people will notice your work, and if it's good quality, they'll definitely spend the money to pay for your quality item over a cheap remake, from Korea. So, definitely have your name. Make sure you have your business taken care of. You need to go to your county clerk, or I believe it's the somewhere in the county. I'll link all of that in the descriptions box. You need to get I think it is the county clerk though, or either the one who does Secretary of State. I think the one who does licensing. You need to make sure you register your name as doing business as. So after you've had that, also you can start with Shopify.com or BigCartel.com as your online store. And I believe they both give you the option to have a free store without a monthly charge, but there's a maximum of items that you can sell per month. So, but I mean, that's a great start to building your clientele and showing your talents. So the next step, which would be 4. Make sure that you know how to market. Utilize social media and your Facebook pages, your YouTube accounts, or whatever you do, or however you get your business out. Make sure that you market. Now, another way, aside from press releases, like, with the newspapers, and actually doing social media, like banners and flyers, I actually would get the emails from the big head girls that are on YouTube, and they're on Instagram. Most of the girls that are on Instagram, like Daphne Joy, any celebrity that you can think about who does like clothing shout outs. A lot of them do shout outs for free. I know that Natalie Nunn, I sent her 2 bathing suits that she did work with me on, and she promoted for free. Judy J, Sarah from the Bad Girls Club. A lot of Bad Girls Club have supported me, especially Judy J, Tiara So Bougie. Everybody knows her. And of course Sarah Oliver, and there's quite a few more. I can't remember. Erica from Bad Girls season 8. I've had contact with plenty of them, but at that time I wasn't able to provide the right size or whatever. I was on the phone with Shawnee O'Neal's her PR representative, and the girl from Basketball Wives. I think Laura Gavon, or whatever you say her name is, the one who was married to Matt Barnes. We actually had a conference call because she was so interested in my designs. But how I started that business relationship with them was I basically got their PR email, and I just shot an email to them with some of my designs, and I asked, if I was willing to send them for free, would she promote them? So that's a good start in actually getting your designs out there. There's plenty of girls that are on Instagram with over 100,000 followers. Some of them do charge now, but some of them will, if you have a great design and it's exclusive, that's going to make them more inclined to showing your designs off, because they do want to look good when they go to their little club or bookings or events. Like Michael Costello, he wasn't really just known like that from his first season of Project Runway, but when he started to get people like Tamar Braxton, Tony Braxton, and all these celebrities on the red carpet, by reaching out to their stylist to send them items for those celebrities, that's when he just blew all the way up. So like I said, reaching out to celebrities and celebrity stylists, make sure that they're your best friends, okay? That's going to make or break your business. Aside from regular marketing, like, reposting your new designs, or, your new sales going on from your boutique website, make sure you market that. And also, if you have friends, ask them to help repost some of your things, or your family, ask them to help you. Now, don't be discouraged if they don't help you, because I was like that at one point. Most of your supporters will be random strangers, and don't be surprised about that. Even with my subscribers, I have the most encouragement from you guys than I do some of my own relatives, and that's crazy, but it is what it is. I thank you guys. So the last step I would say is to make sure you plan and budget your money. Don't use your rent money to to propel your company. That's a no-no. Make sure you definitely have, a budget or an allotment, or even if you want to do like a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter or whatever. Save your money and make sure that you're, managing what you're making versus what you're putting into your company. You can try to cut your costs. What I would do, since I do photography, I did my own photo shoots. I did my own posters. I did my own marketing campaigns. I did all that on my own. I made my own ads or whatever when I posted on my Instagram accounts or on my Facebook, and people bought them from that. So I just picked a nice location at a swimming pool for my swimsuit clothing line, and I'll put pictures. And I grabbed a model who was cute, and I just shot her. So, but I mean, if you have friends that do freelancing photography, try to start there. You shouldn't spend all of your money on the biggest things. Make sure you start small. Keep that in mind. And try to be innovative. Try to always be different. Never look at what the next person's doing, because that's going to take away from your individuality and your uniqueness. So stay true to yourself. And that's what was one of my main things. I would start to stray a little bit because I would see something else that's popular, but it was kind of slutty. And I would be like, well, maybe if I made something like that, it would give me more exposure. But it would make my brand less credible, because what I'm promoting is a wholesome brand. And make sure that you know who your target brand is. My target brand would be those women that are in business, not some hood rats, because clearly hood rats don't like to look like business women. And we're just being honest here. I'm just saying. So if your demographic is young teenagers for graphic tees, then that's who you need to appeal to. Okay, so I totally forgot to talk about manufacturers. Now, if you're trying to just do the whole thing big, like I did at one point, I got in contact with one of the head buyer for Macy's. Her name was Caprice Willard, and she was on Fashion Star. It was a show that her, Jessica Simpson, and another designer. It was just like American Idol for fashion, and it was on NBC. And they partnered with Express, Macy's, and another Saks. So if you were on there as one of the designers, and I did try out, but I didn't submit everything. I was playing games. I was married. I was going through a lot at the time. But what happened was, those buyers would buy your design and give you $100,000 cash right then. But it wasn't just your money to spend. You had to go get your own manufacturer and provide those clothing for that company. But that was just like the money just to get it started. And that's amazing. And you don't have to get on TV shows like that, because they did cancel the show. I found out that, Caprice told me basically what I needed to do was to design my collection, and whether I know how to make them myself or not, I need to present, a collection of pieces that they can actually see, and some that maybe that I've drawn up that needs to be presented to them as well. So I need to, call a buyer, or, what you could do is call the dealers or whatever department store you're trying to get into. You could call their corporation, the headquarters or whatever, and schedule a meeting with their buyers, or ask them, for advice on how to set up a meeting. You may have to fly there. I know dealers' headquarters is in Dallas, Texas, I believe. So I would have had to get on a plane and go there if they would have accepted my designs. But I mean, I think they may ask you for email first to even see if you're worth wasting their time, or worth their time. But if so, then I'm sure you'll have to meet with them and present. You'll basically have to sell yourself and sell your collection. What about your collection would stand out in the whole store? And you don't have to start off really big with those type of companies. You can start with like your local boutique that has the hottest trends. You can sell your clothes to them. It's still the same marketing plan. You have to meet with one of the owners, or the owner or whatever, and the title is the buyer for the store, and they'll decide whether they want to carry your brand or not. Next, you need to decide whether they're going to pay you up front, and then whatever they make off of your clothing, whether they mark it up 2 or 3 times, that's just their money. Or if you're going to just give them the clothing, and then whatever they make, they give you a certain percentage. Depending on how they sell, you may want to go with getting the money up front. I mean, it just depends on, the business. And definitely have a lawyer so that you won't get, screwed out of your money. But these are just solid tips that you need to look into when you're going into wholesale and manufacturing as a designer. Because I was approached by different companies, that wanted to carry my clothing wholesale, but I knew that I didn't have a manufacturer at the time. And it's just me by myself sewing all these clothes. I wouldn't have had enough time. So now I do have a manufacturer, and they're across seas because they're cheaper when you go across seas to get your clothing made versus American. You just have to make sure that they're not violating any child labor laws over across seas. But the manufacturer that I found, they've actually contacted me, and they told me that I can send them my designs and they'll make them for me. I just have to pick the fabric. Now, be careful with that because I'm going to send them a contract. Make sure you always have a contract with whomever you're working with, whether it's whatever industry. Make sure you have a contract saying that they will not duplicate your designs, and then you guys can work. So that's what I'm going to do with them. But if you can reach out, just Google manufacturers overseas or manufacturers period, and if you find a good manufacturer, then you can really talk to the big head departments, because you really need a huge, think about it, if your clothes are going to be in JCPenney's, there's plenty of JCPenney's in the world. You have to be able to provide millions of clothing items for them to support in each store. Now, they may not put them in all stores, but they may be in the big city stores. So you have to be prepared for that. You have to, of course, they're going to give you the money to do it. They're going to buy your design, or buy your collection, but you still are responsible for spending that money wisely as far as finding the better and cheap, manufacturer to provide those good quality clothing. So, yeah, I forgot that part. So I could go on and on, but there's so much. I just rather get your questions. I hope you guys will just leave questions in the comment section, and I'll answer them. I might make another video, or I'll just answer them as I see them. So if you guys have any more questions or concerns or any other questions about this topic, please, you can email me. I'll leave my email there for my business email or whatever. And thank you guys for watching. Make sure you share this video and you thumbs up and you're subscribed to my channel. Thank you guys for watching again, and see you guys next Saturday for another Business Savvy Saturday. Because that's what I want to start with this season, or this, whole video. I want to do like Business Saturdays, But yeah, let me know what you guys think.